What's up, my comic book brothers and my comic book sisters from another mister? Today we're going to do a comic book review of The Scorched, issue number 13, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. She Spawn, aka Jessica Priest. There will always remain threats out there, threats that at times need special attention, and though she's dedicated her life to destroying those evils, she's also a mother. Having a safer world for her child, that's all that matters. And in her war journal, she has new intel reports on the island off the coast of China that has shown new activity. Monsters fighting, showing off their abilities, hoping they'll be chosen to stay. But word is, they have hidden files too. With the identities of people like her, like those now trapped on Earth, risk assessment is high, and her solution is to bring outside help. And who is that outside help? She tells Redeemer that they should collaborate with the Freak, and there goes the Freak right there ripping off somebody's arm. So Redeemer, first thing he asked is, why are we going around Spawn, Jessica? And She Spawn is like, well, there's some things we need to take care of ourselves. So Freak tells him what they're about to do is Spawn wouldn't condone it. There's a rumor in the underworld that Simmons has been messing around here, trying to open portals, chasing down a dead wife while people tell him he's a king. It's making some of these bastards on Earth a bit too bold. They think he's distracted, so they're teaming up together, looking for a new leader of their own. And that is a reference to King Spawn, which we covered all the King Spawns on this channel. And the Freak continues talking about the island and what he's hearing about it. On this island, they're making monsters fight to the death to gain entry. Whoever is controlling that island, he only wants ruthless people on his side. You understand, Angel Man? So if Spawn isn't here to protect everything, then it all falls on us. And Redeemer's like, okay, I'm in, but we still need a plan though. And Jessica Priest is like, well, then let's make one that you and I, that we all can live with. So on the coast of China, a sanctuary built into the side of the mountain, those wanting to stay within its halls must prove themselves by spilling their blood. And there is only one wicked enough to oversee that bloodshed, and that is Mandarin Spawn, a child of centuries past, from a time where you earned everything and you were given nothing. And he looks down at the people beneath him, seeking his approval. In the crowd, the Freak navigates this sea of the damned, awaiting the weeding out process, and he sees these henchmen of the Mandarin Spawn rejecting this guy, and this guy's like, no, don't you dare reject me, let me fight in the pits. And they see that he has the Mark 137 on his neck, and they're like, we respect no one who answers to man-made cults, and they decapitate his head on sight. So one of the henchmen goes up to the Freak, and they tell him the Mandarin has requested to see you. In his chambers, Mandarin Spawn looks at these two people like, what are these files on my floor, and why should I care? They're the spoils of conquest. We captured a building filled with many of these files. They contain details of some trapped on this earth, including demons, hell spawns, and angels, and more are out there. And we see Jessica Priest's file up on there. Mandarin Spawn is like, hell spawn, huh? Put together a list of those that will eventually try to disrupt us. Now in this panel right here, his henchmen bring out the Freak. Mandarin spotted him early in the crowd. He knew Freak's walk. He knew his unnatural gait. I know who you are, says Mandarin Spawn. Did the Spawn send you? And the Freak is like, no, I'm here on my own will, hoping to meet the one behind all the stories. The underworld keeps talking about Chang Li, the deformed servant who killed his master centuries ago, whose soul was turned into a hellspawn. Now Mandarin is intrigued by this Freak. Meanwhile, Redeemer and She Spawn get the opening they need up above. And Redeemer is like, dude, this Mandarin Spawn is gonna skin the Freak alive. And She Spawn's like, honestly, the Freak might like that a little bit. He a little freaky like that. So let's scout the place, then we can make some noise. Below, the citizens of this hell city begin to gather for the evening's entertainment. And Mandarin Spawn continues his dialogue. Everyone in these walls must fight for the right to stay. For those that know my history, they know I believe in earning life, not giving it. So the Freak is like, so you want me to fight you? Or you want me to fight these guys? Because these guys won't stand a chance. And Mandarin Spawn's like, no, Freak, you'll fight me, and only one of us will live. And She Spawn's like, man, he wants to kill him. And Redeemer's like, well, look, I think the Freak is okay with that. So as they begin to fight and they prepare to show down and get down with the get down, the people in the chant, kill him, kill him. The Mandarin Spawn faces the crowd. The Freak is not here for laurels. He's here to eliminate as many of these monsters as he can, but he needs to keep delaying. The longer he does it, the better chances Redeemer and She Spawn have on doing their thing. So they go to this vault. She-Spawn asks the Redeemer, can he crack it? It's more than steel, but he'll need a little bit more time to detonate it from the inside. He uses his strength to crack a hole, just deep enough for him to rest his hands, then begins to power himself up, his body turning into a reactor until both of them are stunned at what they see. And Redeemer's like, papers? What were they hiding? And She-Spawn knows exactly what it is. It's files of those trapped on Earth. The same one Spawn was collecting, including all of our files. And Redeemer feels like he's being played, like, so our mission, what was it? I don't like being used, Jessica. So did we come here to stop Mandarin, Spawn? Or are we here for your own personal agenda? And she tells him it's both, but I need my file. And whenever someone says but after a previous statement, it negates that statement. I get the sense that she was here more for her personal self, but at the same time negating it, if you say. I guess it's a little bit more complicated than that, so we'll have to further evaluate that as we get into the story. They get interrupted by their henchmen. You have disrespected our Lord's chambers. Outside, the citizens of Mandarin's utopia grow increasingly impatient as they howl for one thing: blood. And Mandarin Spawn goes in for the attack. Your mind was lost long ago, freak. You've just been a prop ever since. Stop talking, says the freak. Just fight. And so they engage. Mandarin catches the freak with a combination of blows, swinging his blade deep into his freak's arms. Freak licks his wounds and he likes that, like, do it again. I like pain. And the Mandarin's like, wait, hold on, you that kind of freak? That's too freaky for me. And Freak is like, well, bro, I said do it again. Now in this panel right here, we're just gonna take a minute for you guys to admire the art. If you guys are liking the content so far, you know what to do. Like the video and subscribe to this channel. And also don't forget to check out RatedComics.com if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection, and or some really cool Rated Comics exclusives to your comic book collection as well. Now right here it demonstrates that when Jessica Priest was a mere mortal, she definitely has some government training, and right now she's definitely exercising her government training to help her and Redeemer survive this onslaught attack. And they leave and they disappear, and Redeemer flies Jessica Priest up out of there. And the freak is like, in case you're wondering, Mandarin, that's my reinforcement. And they have a message: shut this island down. If you keep pushing to build an army, we will be back. Back? You think you get to leave, says the Mandarin Spawn. I do, says the freak, but first I'm gonna teach you something. Freak disables his enemy for a moment, then scales a fence to the other side and escapes, drawing attention to the other protective forces that work for the Mandarin, and they chase him down. Keep up, boys. I'm barely breaking a sweat. And Redeemer's like, well, should we help him? He's looking up above, and the freak is having a little bit too much fun down there. And Jessica Priest is like, why? He is having some fun. It ain't no fun if the freak can't have none. Anyways, as we end this issue, Mandarin is not upset though. No, a new threat has revealed itself to him. And he's like, they know about us? Good. If they're smart, that will scare them. Later, he'll find out that She-Spawn saw he had her file, but she doesn't know if there's more, and that means they will meet again. Mandarin will be looking to simply take their heads off, and he tells his gang, gather the clerics. Tonight we begin to plan. And that is the end of this issue of the Scorched, issue number 13. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. I don't think this is the first appearance of Mandarin Spawn. I don't believe that, but then again, it's really cool that we got a new Hell Spawn in the Scorched, and I love how this new story arc, if this is a new story arc, just starts off with a bang, a new villain, a new threat, and new missions. With all that being said, The Scorched, issue number 13. This review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.